Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, Kiki Burns, Private Burns, coming back to you again. The second video, technically, is basically about my whole process into swearing in at Meps. Um, it took I came to Plymouth and talked to my recruiter at like June, like the end of June, beginning of July. And due to the disqualification, it took a little longer than most people to get in. But my recruiter really pushed for me. I praise him for that 100%. That he really pushed for me and he got it cleared. Don't know how he did it, but he got it. I had to do my part as well as going to doctors multiple times to try to get this cleared. But if you're wondering what I got disqualified for was having eczema when I was younger, which I was probably like maybe 10 was the last time I had it, and I'm 20 now, so that was like 10 years ago. But yeah, they were bullshitting on that. Sorry about the language if that offends anybody. Sorry, I do that sometimes. But yeah. So I got cleared on that. That took about 2 months almost, a couple of months. June, July, August. Yeah, about 2 months. I swore in on August 12th, 2014 of this year. To take you through that process as far as Meps goes. Let's see. It started off on the 11th when we went down to the Milwaukee Meps station. It didn't do much when I went there the first day, pretty much because it was late at night. We just checked in the hotels, did our little meeting, and basically went about our night. We ate dinner if you wanted to, went swimming, whatever it was there, you know, to do at the hotel. We pretty much did. Dinner was actually pretty good there. Stayed at the what do we stay? Oh, the Rasmussen in Manitowoc, pretty much. From there, the next morning, we got up at 5:30 a.m. sharp. From there, everybody got dressed, packed up our things, ate breakfast. Make sure you eat. Please make sure you eat because you will be hungry throughout the day. It is a very long, dragging day, and you will want to make sure you eat. Please eat. Never skip your meals. When they offer you meals, eat them. Trust me. So they got there. Took about a 30-minute drive to the Meps station. Everything got started around 7 a.m., 7:30. The first process, a little hazy. I was very groggy. The first process, we sat for a little bit. Then we went into the medical screening, basically. First medical screening. Got our eyes checked, our ears checked through the first part. Then from there, we sat again. It was more sitting. And we went in, sat with the doctor, and they just went over our documents. They didn't do any checkups at first. They just went over our documents and got through that. The third part, again, this is the females' way that we did it. I don't know if the males kind of went the same way, but not always. So from that, we took our piss test for our drug test and pregnancy test. There are no doors in the bathrooms. They watch you pee. They don't stare directly at you while you're using the bathroom, but they're actually in the room. And from there, we got our blood drawn for other things that they wanted to check for. That one. So yes, because they draw your blood, make sure that you eat so you won't pass out and drink plenty of water, but not too much to where you're peeing throughout the whole day because they will get frustrated with you and they will yell at you for that. Then for the females, after we took our urine test, they took everybody, males and females in our group that was in the room and went over medical documents that we had to sign and mark off if we had anything. Note to self, if you didn't tell your recruiter about it already, leave it that way. If you didn't tell your recruiter about it already, do not tell them at Meps because that will mess you up. Everything you told your recruiter, do what your recruiter said. If you did not tell your recruiter about your situations that you just automatically thought of when you're filling out those forms, don't put it on the forms. It will mess you up. It will take longer to get through. And 9 times out of 10, you probably will not get processed through. And it will be frustrating. I'm letting you know this right now. It will be frustrating. After we did those documents, females, a couple of us, about 8, 10 in a group. It wasn't a lot of females there that night in our group anyway. We went into a room, and that's when they did our physical screenings, where we had to strip down in our undergarments, underwear and bras, and they ask you about piercings, tattoos, all that stuff. They, look at your tattoos, get your height and your weight, and then you do the physical test. It's not bad. It's just, bending, touching your fingers and all that stuff. It's not that hard. And, checking your balance. Then from that, you go into a room. It's just you, the doctor, and then one of the female doctors in there, just because you're female and they don't want you in there by yourself with him. And if you have a male. And then he check your breathing, make sure, check your breaths. And they do the pep smear. Not pep smear, sorry. They check down low. It's not, they don't just look. She just tell you open, close. By the time you get ready to open, she's going to tell you to close. It's not that bad. After that, we got dressed. And it was basically from there, long waiting game. For me, we got there at 7. I didn't leave till probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a very long day for me. From that, they tell you, depending on where you are or when they call your name, they have you go eat. You eat, a sandwich, some chips, something to drink, an apple or some kind of fruit or whatever. And you sit for probably another hour. Waiting to call you. You go in, talk to the processor. They talk to you about the job that you're going into, that they print out your contract. You don't sign it yet, though. They print it out. They go over this, make sure you're dressed and everything is set. You do that. Then they send you over to the FBI screening, the federal screenings. And that is when they ask you these questions. He's gonna talk, him or her. Whoever's talking. I had a guy, he talks so fast when they go, because they try to trip you up. He talks so fast. Did they do this? Da, 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 da. Basically, no. No. They go over everything with you. Make sure everything is correct, and that's your final stop as far as your contract goes. You get your fingerprints taken, your picture taken, just to go on your contract. It's not your ID picture. Then from there, it's basically waiting until, then from there, after you pick your ship date, they get you ship date, then you go to the FBI part. Sorry, I skipped that part. And from there, you basically wait until you swear in. And that can definitely be, depending on how many people are swearing in. They call probably about 10, about 8, 10 people in a room. You go in the room, you swear in. The chief, the general comes in, swears you in. And National Guard, you'll be different from all the others because you're actually just as in the state, working for the state and the government, and not for, you're working for America, but you're not just outside, going off seas and overseas and things like that. So your swearing speech will be different from the others. Then once you swear in, you go sign your final contract. They take your fingerprint. That's your final one. And you're good to go. You're good to go. Then that's the day at Meps. Long, dreadful day at Meps. My experience wasn't that bad. I was tired, yeah, of course. Getting up that early for me. I'm not a morning person, personally. But it wasn't that bad. If I skipped anything, please feel free to ask any questions. I'm open to any questions at all. Comment below, down there, wherever it is over there. Inbox me if you can. Yeah, so subscribe, let everybody know. I will keep going with these videos. Peace, love.